listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we are now here 8 minutes past the top of the 9 o'clock hour. As we wrapped up there, we got... we had Mr. Ed Silva on the phone for the write-in candidate for the 3rd Congressional seat to replace Ted Yoho, as we talked to him for a little bit. And why he's running and all the expectations for that, which is good. And now, as we're moving on with our Monday show, as we've talked a few things here so far with, from giant Asian giant hornets or murder hornets to Michael Jordan with Galen about the series The Last Dance, as we're talking a little bit about something with sports, as they've got the documentary of Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls and their dynasty, so to speak. And we are also talking a little bit about where things are at in the conversation and expectations of where things are going with our opening things up when it comes to hair and hair shops, salons, barbers, and the expectations of restaurants there with the 25% occupancy rule and all that stuff we were talking about. As we do have our phone lines open, 622-9622, if you'd like to share your opinion on any of those topics or like to bring a topic to the table on your own, give us a call. Let us know, 622-9622. As we are moving through here today, one of the things that was kind of brought up in a sense was, I just lost it. It was very kind of interesting to our state of Florida here, as NASA at odds over the Crew Dragon launch crowds. As we know here with May, as the Kennedy Space Center and NASA have had an expectation to launch some more rockets in lieu of what we're seeing to get the progress of getting humans back to space. This one coming out of the Kennedy Space Center there on Friday. It says NASA and the Brevard County Sheriff are giving conflicting advice to the tens of thousands of space fans who hope to witness a highly anticipated rocket launch scheduled for later this month. As we said, astronauts set to launch from the United States for the first time since 2011, as NASA chief SpaceX advises fans to watch from home, as the SpaceX Crew Dragon mission will mark the first launch of astronauts from U.S. soil in almost a decade. The problem is, the state of Florida slowly reopening the economy in the wake of, obviously, the coronavirus COVID-19 crisis. It says Sheriff Wayne Ivey and the Space Agency are not seeing eye to eye on how people should view the launch. As it says here that, quote, we are asking people not to travel to the Kennedy Space Center, and that makes me sad even to say it, said NASA Administrator Jim Bridenstine, as he said during a news conference on Friday. But Ivey offered starkly different advice when it comes to than what NASA and SpaceX are telling the public. Somebody asks me, are you open for launch business? And it says, we absolutely are. And it says, come here just like you have for all the other beautiful launches, Ivey said. Now, the historic launch is scheduled for Wednesday, May 27th, as from the Kennedy Space Center. We'll send astronauts Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken and to the International Space Station aboard a Dragon capsule. SpaceX is taking extra precautions with the astronauts, requiring people who get near them to wear masks and gloves and checking their temperature. The astronauts are also staying away from only the most important training events. It says the space industry is a vital part of our success here in Brevard County. We want everybody to enjoy the launch, and it's a piece of American history that's happening right here. It says, but Brinstein is erring on the side of caution, encouraging social distancing and CDC guidelines to prevent the spread of coronavirus is obvious. And it says the challenge is keeping everyone safe. Having large crowds at the Kennedy Space Center, now is not the time for that, he said. As Ivey said, clearly he has different views on gathering to watch the launch, saying, quote, if NASA is telling people not to come, that's on them. I'm telling you what I believe is American. They have their guidelines and we have ours, Ivey said. But practice what I can call family social distancing. SpaceX President Gwynne Shotwell agreed it's a shame more people won't be able to enjoy the launch from Florida, but she encouraged people to, quote, be there for the ride with us. It says we'll be together in spirit, more so than in the physical space, she said. Now, Bernstein was clear on the NASA's message that we are asking people to watch from home. As you'd like to think by that point, in reality of it being that far along in the month, on a Wednesday, it's one of those things that, are we in the sunlight of 90-degree weather, we can't stand outside and watch something like that take place. Is that where we're at? But we can see where the conversation is at least happening, and that's important, and that's one of those things that we even say here is the platform for our show. Is just at least get the conversation going. We know there's all sides to it. Let's hear it. But I myself was kind of looking forward to that, and in a way finding a way to plan to actually go to see that, take my son, because I have yet to see a rocket launch in Florida. Since the years that I've been here now, I've always kind of missed out. And what always seems to happen is for example, the weather or something relatable to an issue that would cause a delay in the launch, which happens quite often. But I haven't seen one live, and this was actually one that I was looking forward to. So we'll see where the conversation goes towards that and whatnot. But interesting nonetheless. As we're going to take a short little break here, and we come back, we'll talk a little bit more. Our phone lines are open, 622-9622. You're listening to WOCA The Source, WOCA Ocala, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Back after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Are you a medical provider that doesn't like to settle for the same boring scrubs? Scrub Paradise in Ocala has a wide selection of top brand scrubs with embroidery available and the newest medical shoes and accessories. Every medical provider should look as great as the care they provide. Scrub Paradise is just off Easy Street next to Shoe Carnival in Ocala. Stop by today or give them a call at 352-873-4368. That's 352-873-4368.
Hi, this is Will.
And this is Wendy of Dex Imaging in Gainesville and Ocala. You know, we live and work in this community just like you, and we wanted to personally invite you to call us with any questions or concerns about your copiers or printers.
Like, how can I save money on my toner? That stuff's expensive.
In most cases, a complimentary workflow analysis has shown we can save your business 20 to 30% on printing cost.
Have you been kicking around the idea of going paperless? Are you considering a document management solution? Maybe you just want to ask some questions, but don't want to be bombarded by aggressive salespeople.
Give us a call. We'll be happy to answer your questions and show you how you can save money with our award-winning copiers and printers and our amazing service team.
Who, in case you didn't know, will be there in 4 hours or less to service your machine, guaranteed, and we have a 97% first-time fix rate. Check us out at deximaging.com or give us a call.
In Ocala, dial 352-433-4090. That's 433-4090. Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Sunshine and patchy clouds for today with a high 89 to 92. Mainly clear through the night tonight, low 62 to 66. For tomorrow, a sunny day with a high 89 to 94. Then Tuesday night, it will be clear and moonlit, low 64 to 68. Partly sunny Wednesday with a shower or thunderstorm spots for the afternoon. Wednesday's high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
Started in 1975. It's Yendel's Building Materials. Whether you're making repairs, adding a room, or building a house, Yendel's constantly delivers excellent service and top quality materials and many of the tools and hardware you need to get the job done. At Yendel's, they take pride in supplying their customers with new and innovative products. Yendel's experience in truss design, manufacturing, and component materials is second to none. 834 North Magnolia Avenue in Ocala, 732-3000. Stop by to experience the difference.
Back. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. And joining me a little bit early in the studio is Lena Williams, hires Baxley. As we get to the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour, we'll be talking a little bit within the community events and the conversation there. But I got her on a little bit early. Good morning, girl. How you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. You waking up?
Yeah.
Did you have a cup of coffee yet?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
How do you take your coffee?
Cream and sugar.
Cream and sugar.
You know, I don't like coffee, but I like to wake up.
Yeah. That's how it was for me in the beginning with drinking coffee, and now I can drink coffee black, but it's just a little sharp, and I just need that edge taken off
like
of the
dirt.
back end.
In my opinion.
What's that?
Coffee, it tastes like dirt.
Yeah. Well, I think that's I think that's the thing. Like it kind of is, and that's
That
how it's supposed to.
earthiness is
Yeah,
what
it's the
you're going
earthiness.
for.
Yeah.
Got it, yeah.
As we're making our way through this Monday, geek it up. May the 4th be with you.
Yeah.
As how about that? George Lucas and Disney have found a way to hijack a day and put all of that commercialization right out in one day.
Brilliant.
It's awesome, right? It's annoying, to be honest with you. I liked Star Wars when I was a kid. I watched the, I think I was in 6th grade, and I borrowed the VHS tapes from Daniel Hall to watch them. And I remember I had gotten sick. I had gotten a cold or a flu or something not long after that, and I had stayed home. And that's when I drank tea. I had cream in my tea, which is how the English drink it.
Very British.
Yeah, and they say tea without cream is uncivilized. That's what I was told. But no, I got sick, so I stayed home. And staying home from school, I'd watch them over and over again. And that's episodes. What was it? 4, 5, and 6 considered, right? Yeah. And I liked them. I think it's played on a cool part of me being young and thinking about space and space travel and all that. And I got to be honest with you, the older I got, the less I became enthusiastic of it, and I feel a little bit bad. I watched the majority of the newer ones that come out, but they were just okay. But then again, that's how I feel about comic book movies too. I watched Iron Man this weekend, which was, I'd seen it many times. My girl hadn't seen it. We watched it, and Iron Man was good, but then it was hard to kind of keep up with everything after that with the Avengers and stuff. And that just goes back to my conversation about it's hard to watch superheroes or something to where something decimates an entire city block And then I'm supposed to feel bad for the main character's friend that ends up passing away. And you're supposed to feel some emotion for that. And I'm thinking, who has the amount of insurance to cover an act of God of two superheroes destroying their Honda Civic? How are they going to report that to Progressive? Hey, Flo? Yeah, I know you got the apron on. What am I supposed to do here? Iron Man destroyed my family vehicle. But anyway, nonetheless, it is May 4th, so that's the big thing is some Star Wars. And I held off a little bit since I got you in here today to do On This Date in History.
Yeah.
We'll do that a little bit later at the top of the 10 o'clock hour.
Fun. I love it.
Yeah. And I'm going to see if it's on here. I hadn't taken a look yet, but yes, it is. In 1970, it was on this day. Being from Northeast Ohio, it was a big mention always, especially when I was at the age to go to college and all my friends were in college and stuff. Growing up in Akron, not far from Kent State, as it was 1970 with the Kent State shootings that took place, and we'll talk about a little bit about that. So hold on to that a little bit as that was on this day in history. Kind of crazy, already 30 years ago. But it was a big event for both colleges to kind of it was really something we use as an excuse to party in a way, but it was a reflection type thing, and it was very interesting nonetheless. But yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about that. And how was your weekend? Was it a good weekend?
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
the
weather
was
gorgeous.
Yep, fantastic. So I always appreciate that, especially now that there's no going anywhere. So,
I'll be honest with you. It felt definitely being on the road a little bit this weekend that more people were out and more people are just like,
It was
we're coming
busier
back.
this morning getting here. You're starting to see those changes, the shifts really happening. The announcement at the end of last week that things were going to be loosening a little bit, I think it's kind of inspired people to have a renewed sense of energy.
Yeah. Was traffic pretty tough?
Wasn't terrible, but it was certainly more dense. I had gotten a little spoiled.
Yeah. I mentioned that early in the 7 o'clock hour for those who were returning to work or able to go back to the office. And those who were essential, as probably got used to wide open roads for those first 2 hours of the day, which is no problem.
Very relaxing.
Even for me coming in this morning, as I get here real early, it was like, where'd all this traffic come from? It's not this busy when I used to get here, but that's just the way it is. And, the weather being absolutely gorgeous. We're going to hit 90 today.
Love it.
Which is great, but we're still getting in the evening where it's a lot cooler. It's going to be down in the 60s tonight. That's a 30-degree difference. And that's how you know they're like, we're still in spring.
Yeah.
We're still springing around. And it's May, and coming up this weekend, I think is a renewed sense of energy, too. It's a little holiday. It's a special one. It's Mother's Day on Sunday. So that's a reminder for all the guys out there, sons and daughters, to get those flowers ordered for delivery and all that good stuff. As I'm wondering what becomes of the like we were talking about, the 25% occupancy for restaurants, because hey, Mother's Day is a big eat out type holiday, and I wonder what comes into that, especially too with a lot of the restaurants not being able to do Easter, not being able to do the bars and stuff, not being able to do St. Patrick's Day. So a lot of restaurants and bars itself took such a huge hit that we know of. Even if you did try to do your best to get your takeout or delivery from those restaurants.
Well, it's become even more precious now because now poor mom's been doing a lot of cooking at home, and so it would really be just an even more special opportunity to have somebody else take that burden off, get her favorite meal from somewhere, even if you have to carry it out and then offer to do the dishes,
That's
something
right.
to make mom feel special.
That's right. What do you usually do for Mother's Day?
Mother's Day, we typically eat. So
do most Americans,
me and my siblings, we cook a lot. I like to cook. So I would generally be cooking for Mother's Day anyway, so this doesn't change the trajectory too much.
Is there usually a go-to meal that you guys prepare about every year, the same thing, or do you usually change it up with maybe a ham or a turkey or anything like that?
Well, for Mother's Day, we don't have a traditional set meal. For a lot of the other holidays we do, but for Mother's Day, a lot of times it's just going and looking and seeing if there's anything that she loves. My mom has a signature apple pie recipe. Always make that. For her on Mother's Day, but then usually the meal itself is a little bit more varied, so it could be anything.
Oh, apple pie. I love pie.
I love it too.
Yeah.
It's so good.
There's that, I don't really eat candy. I don't like candy all that much. I'll do some Swedish fish and some Reese Pieces every now and then, but that's about it. But when it comes to sugar, I like mine in a pastry pie, something like that.
I like fruit desserts, and pie really does a good job bringing in that fruitiness, but it still has that, little sugar flaky pastry crust. Can't beat that.
Can't beat it. As we're coming to the bottom of the 9 o'clock hour. Stay tuned as we come back. We'll be talking more with Lena here as we'll get into a little bit of what some of the expectation will be for community events. That's why we have her in here. So we started to do the segment with her, as obviously it was easy to say, well, all community events are canceled, and we just go from there. But we'll be back after this. WOCA Ocala.
Reported in the United States, President Trump tells Fox the projections have gone up.
We're going to lose anywhere from 75, 80 to 100,000 people. That's a horrible thing. We shouldn't lose one person over this. This should have been stopped in China. It should have been stopped.
But he says more than 2 million Americans might have died had we not taken steps